Welcome to Changfied YouTube channel, your trusted source for latest updates across South Sudan and beyond. Today we have important news stories about politics, justice, humanitarian crisis or humanitarian issues, and local youth consent. Stay with us as we cover all the detail. Before we proceed with this latest update, please help the channel by subscribing and turn on the notification bell so whenever we upload a new video you can be notified. Let's start with the first story on political change within the ruling party SPLM. According to the information, the Sudan People Liberation Movement or SPLM has responded to claim made by former senior member Nhial. Nhial had said that the party hierarchy is broken and that some leaders were removed illegally. But the SPLM said this is not true. Bull McQueen, Secretary for External Affairs, he explained that there is a reform in the party, including the addition of new members, were done legally. These changes follow the party rules and were approved by its top organs. He said that the reform started with the SPLM Renaissance Mission and were later confirmed at the ordinary sitting of the National Liberation Council. In December 2022, the political bureau expanded its membership and introduced a code of conduct, disciplinary rules, and financial management regulations. The National Liberation Council gave full power to SPLM chairman, President Salva Kiir, to restructure the party. This led to the appointment of new deputy chairperson and deputy secretary generals. Bull McQueen emphasized that Nhial was part of this reform. He said it is unfortunate that Nhial now claims illegal removal of SPLM leader when he himself participated in the process. Bull McQueen stated, "This statement is the SPLM official response after Nhial left the party and started his own political group, the South Sudan Salvation Movement. In May 2025, President Salva Kiir Mayardit reshuffled SPLM leadership. Several senior figures, including Kwalma Nyangjuk, Daniel Aweta and former Vice President James Waniga, were removed from their position. New leaders were appointed. Dr. Benjamin Bullmill became the first deputy chairperson, Mary Apai the second deputy, and Simon Kunpoch the third deputy chairperson. This reshuffle show a significant change in the SPLM. The party now has a new leader as it works to build its next chapter. Political experts say that these changes aim to include younger members and fresh ideas, but some critics argue that removing experienced leader could create challenge for the party. They are saying that those who have experience, they cannot be removed. The SPLM, however, maintain that these steps are legal and necessary for parties to grow. They say the reform strengthen the party and ensure proper leadership for the future. This story reminds us that political parties must balance experience with new leadership, and South Sudan ruling party continue to face these challenges. Now we move to our next story, the ongoing trial of first by President Dr. Riek Machar. Before we proceed, please help the channel by subscribing and turn on the notification bell so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. In Juba, the special court trying suspended first by President Dr. Machar and 7 co-accused adjourned its 13th session today. The defense team asked for more time to prepare for cross-examination of the lead investigator, Major General Basilio Thomas Wani, in the Nasser case. The court agreed to the request and the session is now postponed to Friday, October 24, 2025. During today's session, the prosecution team completed its examination of Major General Wani, but when the defense was invited to begin cross-examination, they say they needed more time and copies of the prosecution document to prepare properly. The prosecution objected, saying the defense should continue immediately. After discussion, the presiding judge allowed more time for preparation. Also, one of the accused, Brigadier General Camilo Ganmichael, was absent because of health issue. The court noted this and said it would consider pending application from both sides. Previously, the defense asked for medical care for the accused, copies of testimony, and a special meal for defendant with a stomach problem. This trial is important because it involved one of South Sudan key political leader, Dr. Riek Machar, has led the SPLM and played a major role in South Sudan peace process. Observers say that delay in the trial may continue as the defense prepare strongly, but many also stress that proper legal procedure are needed to ensure justice. As this case unfolds, South Sudanese citizens and political analysts continue to follow the development closely. And next, we bring you news from Geneva, Switzerland about South Sudan humanitarian effort. This is a new development and you need to listen to it. In Geneva, Switzerland, the Speaker of South Sudan National Assembly, Jemanu Nukumba, spoke at the 151 Interparliamentary Union Assembly. Nunukumba, she highlighted that South Sudan is currently hosting over 650,000 refugees from neighboring countries, including about 600,000 fleeing the conflict in Sudan. Speaker Nunu led a South Sudanese delegation at the IPU, which discussed global humanitarian challenges, including conflict, hunger, and climate-related disaster. She said the world cannot solve this problem alone, and countries must work together. She emphasized that multilateral dialogue like the IPU is essential for resolving complex issues within the country. South Sudan continues to accept refugees despite its own challenges. The country opened its border and provides protection according to international law. President Salva Kiir has also directed security agencies and local communities to ensure the safety of refugees and allow humanitarian workers to deliver aid freely. Speaker Nunu stressed that helping refugees is not just an idea, it is a daily necessity. She said that South Sudan remains committed to international humanitarian norms and continue to work for peace and stability. Human rights experts and civil society organizations have praised South Sudan's effort. They say that hosting refugees show solidarity and responsibility in difficult regions. This story reminds us that humanitarian support is a shared responsibility. South Sudan faces challenges at home but still take care of those in need from neighboring countries. Finally, we move to a local story from Northern Barghazal about a youth leader in Aweil East. Family demand release of detained youth leader. In Aweil East, Northern Barghazal State, the family of youth leader Deng is asking for his immediate release from the National Security Service facility. Thiep and his colleague Akogdud were arrested on October 17, 2025. In Wanjok town, the arrest happened after disagreement with Aweil East County Commissioner Garang Deng over position in the County Relief and Rehabilitation Commission. Family members say that the two youths were dismissed from their role as RRC enumerators, which caused the dispute and led to their arrest. One family member told Radio Tamazuj that youth should not be arrested without reason. These people support their families, and keeping them in detention harm their dependents. The family has that the case the case can be handled through legal procedures, including police investigation and a court trial, instead of arbitrary detention. When contacted, the County Director of Information, Paul Kuchakot, said his office is still verifying the fact. He promised to provide accurate information once available. Civil society organizations have also spoken out. Maria Angelo, Secretary General of the Northern Barghazal Civil Society Network, criticized the detention as unlawful and called for tape release. She said that dialogue is better than arrest and that human rights must be respected. This incident highlights concern about the treatment of young people and the importance of rule of law in South Sudan. Arbitrary arrests can harm families and communities, and civil society continued to push for fair procedures. This concludes our main news story for today. Joe Banlinga Bana Riketing Konalat Karodian, Katong Nantanas, Ken Konuniam, Gorijan or Gender channel, there is support, there is Shonga channel Kel. There is subscribe to the notification bell. There is a time commission which Breda Shamala Shubekijin. Banaje took Leraniam may update, Kakwud commercial Nhial Deng Nhial. Nhial Deng Nhial, Chikondi Alangajano, Jen Aramimo, Michwarga, Jagor, Kadobadan and Sheji and Kakum SPLM Kija. I can Kononiam, please go no Jin be subscribe, Kabi notification bell with twine. Banaje took Leraniam. Jawen Shalat Guasame me Nuaka Yakele. South Sudan People Liberation Movement SPLM. Chicken man Shalat, a senior member, Nhial Deng Nhial Chikana Loch. Chikalado Nene Man Shalat and Nhial Deng Nhial no cha party born SPLM. Cha Iri Kide Chaja Yarke Dobadan and Waikana Jam, Require Chaja Yar. And Nyok Cheladone, Sha Quar Chaka Watch, Kadomi, Dong Shajan, Chedemesia, Najane Chanate one Chaka Watch. And Yaling Yali Chanate Chaka Watch legally. Teleka, Dermichikana Lat Bacha, Winnekabang. Dundo, she has spell him, Chikaladone, a commission me she talk. Kajoma Chalat, Wim Shalka Bull McQueen, secretary, party dung SPLM Pinke Mayadit. Chelado Nena, and Tadana shall quarcha gerke Kirmayadit, SPLM, Jenny China Newton and Obane Tibacco, which I win a Lora Bang. Jenny a reform legend, and Obane Tibacco watch. Kachala ba new members, Kenny did Bakal Dil marriage, Riek Querka. Kenny and Chen Chitoga. Work no Martin Conte Roacha SPLM Roger Rodeke. A nyok, shinating con, tin la jipadika, chicken what chicken ka work, chicken ka approved, a Nhial and Oba Nediti Bacalalet. So could you more cannot quankake legally, shaka quani legally. Cheladone SPLM Chikarurian mat, and no becan queer becan a girl. Wachika Nur ka Queen National Liberation Council ka jen ron kin dangro jan dangare widero kapai wero chika Nur eno bikenne ti jidini biken kanong rech kana ramadan ba nang re kiben ba kwany ala kuer kiben ba la tre kuer badila rami momete ka ngajmurong mi pel rode pin mitike discipline ka ngot karama mo bala ramadan be financial management be jang aki be rule ka be ngach so ramishin mo me jikene jek chikana jigano Ramadan e shirung me cha kwanyaken National Liberation Council e shalat rame cha kam full power Ramanyam SPLM chairman Sapake me yadit wude shalka me bol mel chwe kula kwany so ka tay dana chinare lat ke jam chwa new deputy chairperson chwa kula kwany ka chwa deputy secretary general chwa nyom kwal kwany ke jam bol makwe chela do ne Nhial Deng Nhial ramkel kat repo me dana latke tay kwany kana ka je structure dana latke je Nhial Deng Nhial ramkelten ajana mi Nhial Deng Nhial tam che jogre chele wilne ya ajani che ne gaj ko jen rami momi part dunga SPLM che joma che jalat no ko ci Nhial Deng Nhial chela no ta dan wo kana ka je jene illegal ke chana wo jogwa che joma che queen ka so che kuma SPLM che kan kula respond no man chala da Nhial Deng Nhial kana che chong Nhial Deng Nhial jen che party SPLM pinkim yadi che rodo witen che rodo mo ke party do dien michal ke South Sudan people South Sudan Salvation Movement SSSM South Sudan Salvation Movement again parliament jadid and chakatama ka pai diech ronkin dangro jandangro de diech president Salva Kiir mayadit che ne dial cheka watch che reshuffling che jala lo che na che kariat che ne tungwan ka la senior ka kumede wona ka kolmanyang juk Daniela Whitcott wona ka James Waniga mala vice president jene te cheka watch kan dial ka position ken cha kwara jidiene ya nyam kwanya katen che Dr. Benjamin Bol me che kwanya la vice president che first deputy chairperson che kwanya boni la che kwanya point Bol me la first deputy chairperson che mera pai che kwanya la second deputy ka che Simon Kun po che kwanya la third deputy chairperson ko kuma ke pada SPLM akane ndo badana changwa cha gar ka je kin mu yadi da kane mugwa te je jen do badanan kwany ka kwara jidini ka jabat Nhial Deng Nhial che ladno kana na me kana accept anyok ne to ngwantin ko na ngai ke ko lat ka rodi na kana mission me she chong ba no ba kwar ba ka wuje tele ka ngach ka duptin kon wo kana ka je so jo me di yana link ka do badana chalat ka je jo rodi na banawtin gwasa me kan kono nyam gorno jin bi subscribe ka bi notification bell bi jetwany kom teler mi chala gwasa be chomala shube ka je rai wiki juban walle special court shik na chaluk chajaluk ka kui first by president Dr. Machar kan ne ka dang barotin kontin chaka gwain kel ka chaluk cha nyom kap je jok no an walle ajen lugan well jok dien an lugan meni she defense team ken kontin kwa Dr. Machar lallo yon Dr. Machar ken team de she can judge ken teje no gor kan more time ke gor kan gwad me de kan let ke ja akane shaka chuch gor kan o de ka moy ka chang me de kan let ke ja ko de kan kula respond ka do badanan chi investigative team chi kan Dr. Machar chi kan gwain ke ja chi defense lawyer chi kan judge chi kan teach ko bi kan man chala da major general Basilio Thomas Wani ka kui ko redana chi to kan nasir gwad mi charoi ka kenin dang dok kenin ro kenin dok kenin wan ko testify ka court mi mon wala chi court session de talk already tin gonya ka Riek Machar chakalat but chi defend lawyer je kula no go ne warga mi bine je ka general Basilio Thomas ka tin ko ne chalat bine kula be respond no jaga chaga jogo no chai mu ka more time do no chi ne contin la security team ka no de person na chaga jogo no as ne ko la defend lawyer Dr. Machar ka mo ke time she can request to no gor can copy document in content chalat wude mo lo bi kan ko lo cross check ta dan de ko respond ke je so jo me jen jo dan chalat chaila no en look ba jakap karon ka changa jandanga redo ngwan ka pai wal lo chirami Friday ke changen be cha jo mo cha jo ko ne no Ramadan en chalan wala bomen cha gwany Brigadier General Camilo Gan Michael wa ken wo ko koden wala ke pi LZ issue ke ta dana ci pone ci pol gaja anyok ci code bon jikala no ne ditene de ka dil moy ka kon dong de kan point ken de ko lo ar ka je ko do be dana sha ka yen gaja ci ke tekare ka jay ken le ken bech you know all those things stomach problem so chala de jajen wo ba ka dil moy ka kon dong de point ken de ko lo go ka je so na mom le roda so much na me jen do badanan sha ngot cha ga yat pinyan wala ka jem cha ja kap niam na me ler mede yana ling ka do badan en chajalat kijan but take lerin me cha nyom lat ka gwasa me South Sudan gwam ci gwadul ka tin ka Geneva Switzerland ramala rajalla speaker ka dung South Sudan National Assembly jema nunu kumba cela do wonen la dola mo dola koru jendi de kelien ke Interparliamentary Union Assembly mela netin wala kana woten re dola manan ci woten cela do wonen South Sudan taken connect a lot of refugees to 650,000 refugees kini tukudam bakalu jandan di refugees to tere wika South Sudan no nyoga jenena ajana taken connect sorry ala current hosting over 650,000 refugees needed to connecting contin tin terrar which kitin tere wika South Sudan they call them mostly kana 600,000 Canada sharon barre wika Sudan te tere which within ka South Sudan ka 600,000 ka South Sudan kani 650,000 ka refugee camp chitke Kenya Ethiopia Uganda kan go to kontikitin cha jo ma cha jala speaker nunu jen cha wela delegation and winami gwada cha look cha jo luktin ko gorgi jeno ba humanitarian tada de ko lok de kan tup ko je chikanu tenen winami ba de kon ko ti jeno ne report e cha lana wala wa gwe ke jeno take need shop ke million te rar la refugees but right now can around 650,000 timo chirga manetin content rar which is 600,000 tigre we kan ko na DP cha ka kwenke so chikana gorno ba pe ga nan rar ba janga je ne dialti pat pe ngai ke je UN so jo me der la jo me de koneling ka ta dan ci kwan ci ga den lat ka je ban shongo gwas me mi jiram jidit ka Changfied YouTube channel goro jin be subscribe ka bi notification bell bu je to an bi ta ga mal bye bye